Hi, I'm Krista. I'm an associate clinician here at the Well Life Center in Doylestown. I have been on a nutritional program for the past 8 years now, and prior to that, for 7 years, I dealt with a digestive disorder. What began as major stomach pains and discomfort, and I had trouble digesting foods. I saw the doctor, and they diagnosed me with irritable bowel syndrome, and that took me down the road and pathway of lots of studies, blood work and stool samples, and I had to take a medication that did help a little bit. Later on it was removed from the market because it was causing death. So I had to try something else. I felt like a guinea pig going through all of that journey. My symptoms were major discomfort. I started with cramping in my stomach. Literally overnight I became lactose intolerant, and I would get severe pain that I would bend over or lay down on the couch all day and then get up and try to go through my day. I went to the doctor once I realized it was controlling my life and I was not able to function as a mother and wife the way I wanted to. I went in and got done a sigmoidoscopy, and they showed there were no polyps or anything like that showing in my digestive tract in the colon, and sent me on my way. So through that I tried healthy eating, what I thought would be healthier, and then I went to a health food store and took a lot of their remedies and drank different things that didn't taste good, hoping that would help, and it didn't. It just made me feel worse. It got really bad to the point that I would starve myself all day to go to work. I didn't want to have any episodes, and by episodes I had extremely loose bowels that sometimes I would have up to 8 to 10 times a day. So everything I ate literally just went right through me, and that would be followed by the cramping or intense pain before that or even after. And then when I would have a bad day I would feel almost like I had the flu. And going into work, I would then not eat, so I wouldn't be as bad, and when I would have pain I would lay on my desk or my chair and quick hop up if someone would walk in. And my children, sometimes I remember I'd crawl around on the floor getting them ready for school in the morning, and I accepted it as it could always be worse, and I hid it from a lot of people. My husband and I would put on the best face I could, but sometimes I had to tell him how bad I was. Through all that, I suffered from malnutrition because I wasn't eating, obviously, and I became anemic. I lost over 20 pounds. I got close to being below 100 and just looked gaunt. I lost a lot of muscle mass and was very pale. And food, I hated food because I couldn't eat it, and it was controlling in the way that I couldn't just live a normal life. Food is everywhere, and I always had to think about, what am I going to eat? Someone's house, I wouldn't go socially, and then I always had to worry about where is there a restroom, and just deteriorated that way. So then I saw another doctor, and then I saw another doctor who then told me I did not have irritable bowel syndrome, which I figured, and they were going to test me for Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. And I tried another medication that was a mild antidepressant because they were thinking that maybe it was from stress or their serotonin levels were not regulated. And I guess that helped a little bit, but I was just searching desperately. The doctor told me to take iron, and I remember specifically digging my heels in the ground as he had his hand on my back and asked me to take an iron supplement and have a good day. And I asked him, what kind of iron? Iron's hard to digest and absorb. Where should I get it? And basically that was it. And I left searching, online, and we become our own doctor sometimes when we are dealing with something that we don't have the answers for, whether it be for ourselves or our family. And I searched, and a very dear friend of mine introduced me to the Well. And I came and watched a lecture given by Cynthia Hoffman and Cynthia Hoffman Cole, and I was very skeptical. I came in and watched it with one eyebrow raised the whole time, and it started making a little bit of sense, and I made the appointment to come in and see her. And when I was laying there being assessed, she said to me, I told her how bad it is. I said, this is controlling my life. And what I found is I made compromises. I accepted this, knowing that it could be worse, but I settled for this, thinking that, okay, I'll get through it, and this is what I've been dealt. And when I knew I was a candidate for colon cancer, that's when I realized that this was not acceptable and I had to get well. I wanted to serve better. I wanted to be a better mom, better wife. So laying there, she said to me, I understand. And she did. Later I would find she definitely understood. But she said, we'll help you with that. And I'll never forget that overwhelming joy, fear, excitement that I had, thinking for the first time I have hope that there is a reason for these symptoms, that I'm not going to be dealing with this for the rest of my life possibly. So I followed everything. I followed the diet. I took all the supplements because I knew I had nothing to lose. This was my only chance. I've searched everywhere. I saw 3 specialists, and got nowhere really. And within 2 weeks, I was able to eat foods that I hadn't in 7 years. And I'm not talking about foods that are like dairy or, apple pie. It was actually simply an apple. I sat and ate an apple for the first time and did not have major digestive distress. And I cried over an apple because it was just freeing. I would dream about eating food. I would dream about being at a buffet and just stuffing my face with food because it was just so controlling. And I would look at the little birds and think, they could eat and they're fine, and the animals, why can't I do that? So I had that hope for the first time, and I definitely was healing and felt really good. I started gaining weight and color was coming back and people were noticing. And within, everybody's different. Everybody has a different journey, and we take a long time to get sick and can't expect to get better overnight. But really within that year, my symptoms were pretty much gone. Every now and then it would act up if I would go out to dinner or eat something that I shouldn't. But I just was a new person, and I was ignited with this passion to help others. And I thought, this is it. This is what I want to do, because I don't want anybody else to have to suffer the way I have. And whether it be digestive disorder or anything, the fact that they are plagued by their symptoms and compromising that they have to accept them and feel like they have to deal with that the rest of their life. And that's what we do here. We give people hope. And I just am so blessed and thankful that I have the opportunity to serve our clients, to offer them that hope. And it is my joy to see that in their faces when they're feeling good, and for the first time in a long time, whether it be months or years even, or just to see that they have that hope.